Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between gentle hills and fields, kissed golden by the sun, there lived a young farmer's wife named Mira. She was shy, quiet, yet carried within her a vast and generous heart. Her world was simple: tending the garden, feeding her children, gazing at the horizon with a tenderness that seemed endless. One evening, a traveler arrived, a weary stranger with eyes heavy from the road and hands that carried untold stories. He asked for shelter. Perhaps Mira would have welcomed anyone. But fear lingered. Neighbors whispered in hushed tones. They said strangers brought misfortune. She hesitated. One voice inside urged her to welcome him. Another whispered, "Protect your family." It was an inner trial, a battle between the instinct to nurture and the duty to shield the ones she loved. The traveler pleaded softly, "Just for tonight." Mira drew in a deep breath. She looked at her children's faces, thought of the hard days behind and the harder ones still ahead. Then, with trembling resolve, she opened her door. She served warm soup. She brought blankets. And when night fell, the traveler rested. In the hush of dawn, he spoke of the roads, long and unyielding, of the world, vast, uncertain, of what he sought: home, peace, dignity. By morning, however, the village had learned the truth. The traveler was wanted, a fugitive accused of some ancient fault. They demanded he be given up. They cried for justice. Mira now stood at a crossroads: protect the man she had sheltered, or yield to the fearful will of her people. Tension thickened. The village split in two. Loud voices called for his expulsion. Others remained silent, their eyes fixed on Mira, waiting for her choice. Her heart pounded like a drum in the middle of a storm. Every pause carried weight. And then Mira spoke. She stood before them all, steady, unflinching. He asked me only for shelter, and I gave it. Who am I to judge a soul on whispers and rumors? Let his truth be known, but let us not destroy him before we understand. Silence spread through the crowd. The traveler's eyes met hers, filled with gratitude, filled with humanity. No one dared to speak again. From the quiet, her youngest daughter's voice rose, fragile but clear. "Mama is brave." The traveler was heard. He told his story with humility, with honesty, and they understood. The accusations were born from old wounds and tangled grief. Perhaps he had erred, but the weight of remorse was real. Some hearts began to soften. There was no hunt, only forgiveness. No danger but truth. Mira felt the sun touch her face, and the wind carry away the heaviness in the air. That day, the village learned that fear can imprison, but courage opens paths. That to welcome is never easy, but it can build bridges. That justice demands listening, not only judgment. And so all were changed: the village, the woman, the traveler. And Mira understood at last. True courage is not the absence of fear, but the choice to act in spite of it.